then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go! Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu!
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life. I'm gonna be the one who avenged. I'm definitely not
Akane!
Hey, why don't we weren't able to leave Strawberry House.
I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Taichi and found Hajime and Chiaki.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and... Don't tell me you three were together.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not.
with legs like those.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House.
And then, the three of us discovered Neko...
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and
We heard the body discovery announcement too. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate.
Forget these boring intro. Anyway, it's.
What do you mean, deaf?
There's no way a chick would kill someone, so one of you better hurry up and confess!
You're the coolest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We don't have the luxury of discussing the incident notwithstanding.
Then let's start with something even... Well, the weapon... What the heck, you guys?
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right! It was a surprise beating! The weapon is decided!
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar.
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right! It was a surprise beating! The weapon is decided!
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
No, that's wrong! No, I can't.
Why not?
A lot of oil was. The hammer was used to beat
But that hammer was clean.
Yeah, but...
Why?
Well, obviously...
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't...
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby...
Just so y'all know, I thought... Maybe you got...
Seems that...
Then what was the real weapon?
That's the problem. There wasn't...
Then, how... If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon.
I see! The only thing with oil...
Then that pillar is the weapon.
Nobody could... Even if you used 100%...
We tried to move...
Yeah, but there's one dude who could...
Huh?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body!
So, he lifted the...
You mean...
Don't be stupid!
Then even if Nekomaru could have...
Well,
What the heck?
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar,
there may-
huh?
Yes,
I see. So, all right, it's up to you.
understood. Sonia, here I go! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
No, that's wrong! If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the
I briefly considered that too.
I see.
If they didn't tip it over,
How much longer are you gonna focus?
there's no way I can...
Why are you so certain?
I just...
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure. There's another way to use that pillar to kill.
Then I shall ask.
You guys. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers. What a waste of talent. And you all... What did you... Regardless, it's not like I want...
Hey, Nagito. How come you're not talking like...
I've learned a valuable lesson.
Who cares?
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
ultimate weapon?
Isn't that...
So, not...
Of course I know, but I'm
That's right. Because the one who is I am he who cuts the ink. It's only fitting that...
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly.
In order to clarify that,
Huh?
you still don't realize it? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for hot...
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret. Then I think it must have something to do with this... Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House, but in actuality, they are both the same building, and both... It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the
Man, not only does that make perfect...
faux show. I shall leave this matter to your discretion. In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Was that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and are actually the exact same place.
Damn it!
In truth, are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
Damn it!
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact... same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
In truth, Strawberry Tower are actually the exact same place.
Damn it!
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
Damn it!
In truth, Strawberry Tower are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong!
Both of those towers.
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate...
I mean, when we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's... But when we went to Strawberry Tower...
It's probably... If it is, then see?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think so?
Does that mean he's...
Oops! I guess if the floor didn't rotate, then that means...
Bow down! Then how about this? Somebody...
Well, we were moving from... But we should have all been together during that time.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving,
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved.
If it is too heavy to carry, just like if there is no bread, let them... There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic rope, the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, he could have moved it all, easy as pie. It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene? Crap! It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the...
Allow me to cut through those words! Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor. When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's all right. A fired-up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the E-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building, or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. Tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
I see! You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep. See? Let me explain it to you again. I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room. But if the funhouse is struck, then there's lots of things that don't... Then let's begin.
Crap! Here! If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I see. Is that it?
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should.
This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first...
That's right. In summary, the first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high air...
It's not? Are you saying that Grape...
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you finally... If you guys are truly... It might be possible, despite the fact that you don't have a...
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
It's all coming together! Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There is only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different three-story buildings. They're actually one six-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
Crap! I see!
On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the fourth floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it? Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you then? That's right! Those...
Constructing a building like that on your...
Then what about the towers?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House. Strawberry Tower was...
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why...
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the... I'll definitely make her watch it. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
And hurry up, dumbass! Yes!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy! Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
And hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
No, that's wrong! Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. Remember? When we moved from we thought the body had moved. Right up until that moment, the killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy.
Miss Sonia, that's... You are...
It's alright. Kazuichi, if he was, he wouldn't... It'd be much more convenient.
I see. That is disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's me.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both...
Maybe it was a body moved to a... You can't think of a device like that?
Must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room. So that's why we could only enter it from...
I see. We were basically...
Please hold on. Then why is there a picture of a strawberry and a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from...
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator.
Plus, after the incident, the far... But when we entered Strawberry...
Not just that, but if I remember correctly...
There are two...
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items... And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? The reason is because...
I see! So that's it. The elevator...
Only the...
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator. Only the... That's why we saw... Which means on the first floor of... And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower...
Then, where did the different...
I want to say they lead outside, but... just for show. So we falsely believe that the doors... It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted
Did you hear that, Mom?
Don't blame this on me.
Then I'll take responsibility.
Wait, there's no way that's gonna happen.
By the way, what is...
It was probably wrapped there by...
Why?
Because of that chain. The killer destroyed the strawberry. Everything was done to tamper with... The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we go... And using that as a clue, the truth that the two houses and the two towers are The killer wanted to keep us from learning that.
They destroyed the button, and
Would it really have inconvenienced the...
It would have been a major after all.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still...
What a pain.
Gundam, please...
You said earlier that if so, how does... If that elevator, then, when your back is... But... Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right. And inside Strawberry, which means the houses... Answer me, fiend!
What does this...
The... Two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
If the two houses are connected vertically...
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Damn it!
If the two houses are connected
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong! The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Cup? Huh? Come on. You used the
That. From start to finish.
Rotated, meaning it also rotated. It was probably following the buildings, which means the exit would be on the opposite side.
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side.
an elevator that rotates while it moves.
Well, a funhouse, and since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical,
That's not splendid at all!
you say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is?
What is the octagon?
Oh my... As long as you know what an octagon... I see!
If I recall,
I didn't expect you to know that. I guess I should continue listening.
about the secret rooms.
Why is that place?
You know how the four-sided straw... If you cut a four-sided shape out of a six-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the true identity of... In actuality,
Then the ultimate weapon...
that's a little different. I learned the true identity.
Learn?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is... Which means the killer used the building structure as their... Like me, the killer, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the...
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, use...
Hiya! Okay, everyone, all together now! Mon ami is a serious stoufatly.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time,
I never... Oh well.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is... the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a sincerely... I'm disappointed too, you know?
There is no such thing as forcibly sacrificing others for...
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry.
Akane!
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how...
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the...
I see! That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just... Where in that building would you even be able to put...
It might be possible you could push him off the fourth...
Did you forget how the elevator functions?
But my God... When the elevator is on the first floor, you can't go through the door on the fourth floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the fourth floor to the and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the first floor, you can't go through the door on the fourth floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the fourth floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
No, that's wrong! That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have straight That might have been where it got...
Is that the same...
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part...
If they did something like that...
That's right. He was suspended in... Huh? The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot. With that, they moved the elevator from... and suspended Mekamaru.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence!
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique... By doing that, they created a drop...
Too easy! So what if they created a drop? Why? Nekomaru is suspended in... Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall. Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell.
What? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Allow me to cut through those words. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up?
What are you saying?
He has an alarm inside his body, which means the kill.
If you woke up from an alarm, if something like that happened to you, instinctively, your body would...
And then, in order to make the wire was hung on the tip of the... In actuality, the scrape marks caused by...
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire...
He fell because the entire doorknob...
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have...
Was that unexpected?
Well, that's probably... If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that.
I see. So that's...
Do you finally understand?
Yeah. I'm just a pest. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig...
No, I believe...
Hey! This guy...
So thanks to that alarm, that doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor.
I see! When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally,
So that's how the pillar
See? I told you the pillar was the...
Well, the pillar was a bonus.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will...
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set...
Hold on!
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm... Alarm was set for...
You didn't check it?
Nah, that's because even though I slept in...
Now that you met... There was no way I could be...
And if we found Nekomaru's body there...
It appears yet another. How were you able to discover...
That's what...
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tamper. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body. One of those must be an illusion.
killer probably did some... They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No, that's wrong! No, the clock inside his chest was a...
So you're saying there's no way that...
Maybe the clock missed so...
The clock inside...
No,
Oh, that's what I asked you to do.
and because of that,
If there's no possibility,
Please believe me!
then maybe it's a...
I never misunderstand.
it's all coming together! You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death. Which clearly... 7:30 a.m.
Crap! If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death. It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time it's set in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that?
If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was louder, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death. It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
I agree with that. That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the... It's obvious we'd hear...
We heard that noise.
It was when we were What is it?
Oh, well, that's...
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because
I could not sleep at all.
there's nothing to worry about.
If we use that rumbling sound as a...
I heard that sound.
Huh?
I instantly woke up and left my...
Excellent work, Akane!
I see! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7. That means our time is up.
We were starving pretty badly.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't...
However, for what reason did the killer alter...
The reason is obvious. If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing. From there, the kill...
Damn it! I see! That's it. The killer made use of them.
How?
We were required to go to... But if they messed with all the clocks...
We wouldn't be able to attend on time. This radio clock had the...
That's right. In doing so...
And when I went...
If I recall, and if that time was also 2 hours off, at that time, he was heading over...
I see. Now that...
Too early!
When you said everyone, we thought we came to the tower on time.
Ah, jeez. What was it?
Are you talking about...
Wrong!
Liar?
That's not it! It's...
That's definitely...
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. The number of
Hey, why would that decrease the...
You'll know I'm not lying when you... Huh? What? You witnessed Nekomaru.
Are you talking about that a little while after I witnessed Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So if Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi?
The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room.
We were both on the same floor.
Which means that person just... Who is it?
Crap!
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there.
That's right. It was just me, Gundam, and...
You didn't come out. You weren't in your...
That's the case,
Please.
If you don't hurry up and answer.
Even if I wanted to go to the left,
You couldn't.
not only did I not hear the...
However, it is obvious that I did not hear... But I did not hear the rumbling sound either.
To be honest, it's not just... I was in a pretty deep sleep. It wasn't that.
I couldn't hear it.
You still don't... Think about what the three of us who didn't hear...
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. If I recall...
The reason we couldn't...
That's right. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Now then, you guys...
Hold on a sec.
Why? Well, that...
You're the only one! Gundam? When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House...
What's wrong? It's the bell of catastrophe.
Why were you
Here, what?
I mean, you were also Nagito was staying in a deluxe room, and so why were you at... There's only one possibility. That's why, even though you were staying in a
Gundam.
Gundam probably couldn't return to... After you saw Nekomaru, until the moment that'll... If you were in the lounge for...
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with a wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the...
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because...
In their original plan, the killer... And they were supposed to stay in...
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm, just like...
The best case scenario would have been if those two, after all, if they personally saw the... Unfortunately... So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up...
But why'd you come out?
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those... That would have been the worst possible outcome.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned. How ironic.
Gundam?
Answer me this, including... The answer is 10. That means I had thought...
Is that you, bastard?
Do not panic. At the time, I left my room to go to... That's right. That's all.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you.
I see. Well, you don't have to admit it. So, why don't we... hope you know how this class trial... This...
Hey! What?
Perhaps I should say, just a boring farce. Seriously.
Nagito. At some point during the What actually happened?
Well, let's just...
Please hold on!
But he's completely shut up.
Gundam!
I was... In fact, I shall deny since based on your... I hung Nekomaru from the fort from there. After it... Although going to and fro is busy... Let's see. As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel. Plus, if so, for these reasons...
And what's wrong with
If the elevator was broken, it...
However, I was already... Which means...
Are you serious?
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator, the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was... Your assumption collapsed!
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot
Since I was at... There's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator, the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, that's wrong! No, there should have been another way to move.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who... You're the only one! Nagito? Don't play dumb. You appear... There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that...
Jeez. But you're right. There's a... After I open... Surprise, surprise! I ended up... Meaning... Plus, once you've cleared the final...
If they use that secret passage...
Infinity Unlimited Flame! However, what if the killer was up?
There's no way...
That is merely an illusion.
There's no way I can stop it.
Don't make me angry. Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't... Want to drown in the maelstrom of blind.
Allow me to cut through those words! The wire used the hammer that looked like the weapon. Those are all the items that weren't in the only place I can think. There were various weapons and tools. Since those items were used in the crime.
If that's the case...
See, normally we'd end up listening to Hajime, but there's no reason to waste... Hey! First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam the elevator was probably... Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go, so he tried going just like we did when we found... Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. Also, the button but surprise! Gundam was...
Hold on. If Nekomaru...
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but they can just greet everyone the next morning.
And, without such a risky plan...
I'm going to continue through this. Gundam's... There's no way he could fight head-on, so by pressing the goodnight button...
Hold on! Don't mess with me!
Why are you angry?
You fools! Do not... Ha! You make me...
I don't understand anything.
It appears. Maybe I'm just a human.
What?
It's obvious! I'm going...
Are you saying you still have...
Your words. However, that button...
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach.
It's even more difficult. If it's...
Just as I thought.
That's wrong, then. You're the one.
Such a... Listen well. First, you must crush them with your own. You must provide a reason. You have... I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! It's Nekomaru's back! Do you really think I can get...
This is the end! Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the...
Oh? Are you seriously saying...
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal. In fact, we saw that with...
Now that you mention it, one of Gundam's hamsters Hey, with your friend to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself.
Admit it? Did you
It appears I fine. Then but victory can only be now. Trample this pull the curtain strings.
here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final deck. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret. Then, they used the secret octagon after arriving at Grape Hall. When that happened, the elevator and Nekomaru's body was still inside. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was... and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped it. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry. With this, the killer finished their... so they could craft their alibi with... But something unexpected happened. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no the lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the... He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help it. Originally, the loop of wire was... but because there was a heavier load than expected, Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, meaning the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at... That someone is Gundam Tanaka.
Stop using or.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe something like...
You don't wish to forgive me? Then finish it! Cast my beloved, deadly foes! Let the...
Now then, please, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Please, crap! I bit my... Nice!
Now then. Jeez.
Fall, my... Listen well! How pitiful. Fine. This, too, must be the will of Kaz...
You.
Let's make history.
That is...
Let me tell you this.
Huh?
I can see it!
Could it be?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent.
The scorching, stinging, tense... This is great! And what is your reason?
I am the Warlock. Gundam. I need nothing to any trivial reason. I'm
In response to your spirit, I won't go easy on you. Don't waste your breath on cowardly...
Nekomaru need die. Your blood will drench...
That is...
Let me tell you. You weakling! Fall, dears. If you flinch, you will die! Let me ask. Fine. Listen well! I shall engulf this world. I renounce you!
You.
But...
Damn it.
Fine. Fall.
Oh. You...
Let's make history.
Well?
My name is Gundam Tanaka! fade like dust in the wind.
Yes, indeed.
Please wait! I beg of you!
Huh?
I beg of you!
How pity. Fine. What is it, Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time! Damn it. Damn it! The worst.
Oh.
You are right.
Hey!
Wait!
Now then.
Hey!
It's not like that.
Hey. Right?
It's obvious.
Monokuma, a pit!
Now then.
What's this? What's the matter?
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Say,
You don't even know? Isn't that right?
of course.
But...
Who knows?
Hey. Well... Right?
You're getting all riled up. No, no. Shing! Huh?
Hey.
Yep.
Right?
No, no, no. Unbelievable.
Well...
Hmm.
You're right. Huh?
Like...
Wow.
Say...
You don't know? Hey. See? Hey.
That's... Danganronpa.
Danganronpa.